A maniac has taken his love of board games one step too far. With every roll of the dice, the life of a young woman in a small American town hangs in the balance. I can see the guy's dating profile now. My hobbies include pottery, board games, and murder. Deadly Games gets off to a really awesome and really weird start. The movie opens with a young woman returning to her hilltop home, where she immediately disrobes. In the doorway, she goes into the house, takes a load off on the couch for a few moments, and then goes back to the doorway and gets naked and caresses herself in the moonlight. Maybe this is her way of unwinding after a hard day. I'm not judging. But then she's shocked upon receiving an obscene phone call from someone thanking her for the show. When you disrobe and caress yourself in your own doorway for several minutes, people are going to see. Then we're introduced to our heavy-breathing killer. But this isn't your typical Michael Myers style heavy breathing. This is heavy breathing. Practically moan breathing. It's like... Then the maniac makes himself known to Lady Moonlight, and she goes from being scared to being turned on, even offering to make him feel good if his intentions are to force himself upon her. And here's how the sequence ends. Lady Moonlight is walking backwards and pleading with the killer not to harm her. And she continues walking backwards and walking backwards and walking backwards until she walks directly through a large window and plummets to her death. I don't think we can give this one to the killer. He deserves an assist, sure, but spatial unawareness gets the credit for this one. From there, we're introduced to a group of young women, including the sister of Lady Moonlight, who's returned home to bid her sister a final farewell. We'll call her Sister Motormouth, because she never shuts up. We discover that pretty much all the women in this town have had a sexual relationship with the local detective working Lady Moonlight's case, including Lady Moonlight. And who could resist this guy? He plays head games, he breaks into these women's homes, and points guns at them. Just cause. And when it comes to his detective work, move over Hercule Poirot. I saw a hooker get her neck snapped like that back in Vietnam. He opines at one crime scene. Another cop adds, "We got plenty of cat food, but no cat." Very astute. Give me an all points bulletin on a tabby. The rest of Deadly Games plays out like your standard murder mystery slasher movie with a healthy dose of quirky rom-com thrown in. Seriously. Actually, I'd say it's more like a 50-50 split between murder mystery slasher and rom-com. As for the murder mystery slasher part of things, it's unfortunately not much of a mystery who the killer is. It becomes painfully obvious around the 20-minute mark, at most. Then the movie spends the next 45 minutes trying to convince you that they aren't the killer, but then reveals rather abruptly that they are the killer. Abrupt is actually a good word to describe this movie. It abruptly reveals the killer's identity and then abruptly dispatches the killer without so much as your standard chase sequence. And then the movie abruptly ends with one of the most WTF endings that I've seen in quite some time. Oh, and the final girl, Sister Motormouth, is one of those Tina from Halloween 5 kind of characters, only somehow more annoying. She's way too perky and plucky and just will not shut up. She talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks to the point where she can and does have entire conversations with herself. Then the movie transitions into a rom-com focusing on Detective Playboy and Sister Motormouth with Steve Railsback playing the third wheel. I'm puzzled by Steve Railsback's character in this movie. He is the red herring, of course. In fact, he may be the most red herring of all the red herrings I've ever seen in these kinds of movies. He's a Vietnam vet with PTSD who, despite having bad asthma, smokes like a freight train. He works and lives at an old movie theater and wears mirrored sunglasses. If I've learned anything from watching these kinds of movies, it's that mirrored sunglasses are a flashing neon sign that says red herring. Deadly Games features one of the most unsatisfying final acts that I've seen in quite some time, due to how quickly the killer is revealed and then dispatched. And the finale left me speechless, wondering to myself, what did I just watch? The problem with Deadly Games is that it feels like a movie without an identity. It's as if writer and director Scott Mansfield had about half of a murder mystery slasher movie script and about half of a rom-com, and then just said, screw it, and threw them both together. The last act of the movie feels like something that was thrown together literally at the last minute, and the ending seems like the result of them just simply running out of money or time, or both. The cinematography and lighting in this film are quite good, and the dialogue and acting, for the most part, aren't bad either. But don't go into Deadly Games expecting much of a slasher. There are some humorous and entertaining moments here and there, but unfortunately they're too few and far between for me to give the film a thumbs up. Unless you just really want to see NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus play pretty much himself, then there's really no need to roll the dice with Deadly Games. As for this new Blu-ray release from Arrow Video, first let's take a look at the presentation. This release comes with a cool slipcover featuring new artwork by Ralph Krauss. The title is embossed. On the back of the slip we have this cool image. There's the Blu-ray disc. The sleeve is reversible. On the reverse of the sleeve we have the original poster art for the film. We also get a booklet featuring an essay on the film by Amanda Reyes. This release features a brand new 2K restoration from the film's original camera negative. The 2K restoration highlights just how good the cinematography and the lighting design in Deadly Games are. The image quality is crisp, there's a nice level of detail, and the overall presentation is very nice. When it comes to audio, we're presented with the original lossless DTS HD Master Audio 1.0. I'd give both the picture quality and the sound quality on this release a solid 4 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, first up we have Sudie's a Shit, an interview with actor Jerry Ray Mansfield. It's 24 minutes and 15 seconds in length. Ms. Mansfield discusses the film's original title, Who Fell Asleep. She discusses auditioning for the producer and director Scott Mansfield and getting the gig in Deadly Games. She discusses all the scenes they filmed but were cut out of the final cut of the film. She discusses getting into a relationship with Scott Mansfield after filming, how disappointed he was with the final cut of the film, the inception of Monterey Films, and more. Next we have Practical Magic, an interview with special effects and co-stunt coordinator John Aguette. It's 21 minutes and 39 seconds in length. Mr. Aguette discusses shooting the drowning scene, nearly killing himself twice while filming a stunt, working with Scott Mansfield, his career post-Deadly Games, including effects work he did on The Office, and much more. We get the original screenplay for Who Fell Asleep as a BD-ROM feature, an extensive image gallery, a trailer, and an audio commentary with The Hysteria Continues. This is a very nice Blu-ray release for Deadly Games from the fine folks over at Arrow Video. Both the picture quality and the sound quality were fantastic, and we get some nice new extras. Again, I can't recommend the movie, but if you're a fan of Deadly Games, then this release is a must-own. If you've seen Deadly Games, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.